Hello, you guys. Welcome to the 13th tense and welcome to our lesson. Today, this lesson is attributed to the World Chocolate Day, which is on 7th July. And today we're going to talk about the language of taste. What you will learn today? You will learn how to describe taste, texture, and food experiences with precision. You will learn 10 key vocabulary words with phonetics. We will talk about some grammar, about adjectives, about comparatives and superlatives in food context, and we will talk about how to give a confident product review in English. And трішки переключимось на організаційні моменти. Саме цей воркшіт. Завдання до нього ви можете знайти в нашому телеграм-каналі. І ще величезну кількість нашого освітнього контенту ви можете знайти і в інших соцмережах. Всюди ми називаємось однаково Досить tense. Так, якщо у вас є змога зараз просканувати QR-код і перейти в наш телеграм-канал, зробіть це, будь ласка, і саме там ви зможете знайти воркшіт з завданнями до нього, пов'язаними з цим уроком, ну і набагато більше різних. Також, якщо ви викладач англійської або у вас є друзі, знайомі ваші викладачі англійської, теж запрошуйте їх туди. У нас там будуть до World Chocolate Day, будуть освітні матеріали, які викладачі можуть використовувати зі своїми учнями. Well, so let's go back to English. And first of all, we're going to talk about some core vocabulary. What are the words that are needed today for this lesson? The first one, taste. Taste. I suppose you already know it. Yep, it's a certain sensation that you have by food in your mouth. Yep, that is produced by food in your mouth. So, for example, the taste of the dark chocolate is complex and slightly bitter. Yeah. What about this one? Sweet. Sweet. I suppose you already know this word. Yep. It is something that is sugary, that is pleasant. Usually it's sugary. Yeah. For example, white chocolate is the sweetest variety. It is the sweetest chocolate. Yep. Bitter. Bitter. It's kind of the opposite from sweet. Yep. It is sharp and it's unpleasant. For example, an 85% cocoa bar is intensely bitter. Yep. If white chocolate is sweet, then 85% cocoa bar is definitely bitter. Sour. Sour. It is acidic taste. Like, for example, lemon, oranges, pickles. Pickles are often sour. Yeah. For example, some chocolate has a sour note from fermented cocoa. The next one is crunchy. Crunchy. It is firm, it is crisp, and most importantly, usually it makes sound when it is bitten. So, for example, I prefer crunchy chocolate with almonds. Yeah, so the person who says that means that they really like a chocolate with almonds. So when they bite it, they hear this crunch. Yeah. And the next one is silky. Silky, it is actually, you already know the word silk. Yep, that's a material, a fabric like that, silk. Yep, but silky, it is really soft, really smooth, so it's easy to memorize. Yep, if silk as a fabric is really soft, it's really smooth, it is pleasant to touch, then silky, it is smooth, it is soft. Yep, it has a smooth taste. For example, good chocolate has a silky mouthfeel. So basically it has a silky taste, silky feeling, yeah? Creamy. Creamy. Creamy means it is thick, but at the same time it is smooth and rich in consistency. For example, milk chocolate has a creamy, mild taste. It is creamy, it is thick, smooth, and rich. Rich. Yep, you may know the person is rich, means the person has a lot of money. But if we say that some food is rich, it means this food has a lot of flavor. It is flavorful. Yep, so it is strong and full in flavor. For example, the truffle had a rich, deep chocolate flavor. Texture. Texture. It is similar to the word in Ukrainian. Yep, texture. It is the way the food feels in your mouth. But again, we can use texture to describe, for example, the clothes, the fabric. Yep. And here is an example. The texture of this praline is smooth with a slight crunch. Yeah. And flavor. You definitely know the word flavor. Yeah, it is basically the particular taste the food has. Or maybe even a drink. Yep. Well, you guys, take a second. You can even pause the video, go through all these words, and tell me, do you have any questions? You can write down the questions in your comments, okay? Yep. I hope you don't have any questions. You had a second to pause these words to go through them once again. So let's go. Here is also a little pro tip that I have for you. In English, it is quite common, in any language, it is quite common to combine taste adjective and a texture adjective to give some full, complete description, yeah? You can't say just simply, this chocolate has a rich taste, yeah? Or you could say this chocolate has rich and silky taste. Or for example, it is sweet, but it is crunchy. Yeah? Or maybe it is bitter, but with a creamy finish. Yep, so basically you can combine those whatever you feel like and whatever way you need to, okay? And then when we go to grammar, as I promised you, today we're going to talk a bit about comparatives and superlatives. What is that? First of all, we have a short, basic adjective. Yep. Just simple one word. For example, sweet. Yep. It's just sweet. But when we need to compare it to something, to say that this is sweeter than something, yeah, then since it is a short word, we can expand it. We'll add these suffixes er and s. Er we add when we want to compare it. So for example, sweet is just simply this chocolate is sweet. Yeah? Sweeter is when I compare, when I say this bar of chocolate or this brand of chocolate is sweeter than the other one. And the sweetest, it means it's the sweetest among all of them. If you compare it to any of other brands, bars, types, it is the sweetest. Yep. Then, for example, rich. Rich is also a short word, so we can expand it. So we will say this. For example, this brand of chocolate is rich in taste, yeah? But if you want to compare and say that this brand of chocolate is richer in taste than that brand of chocolate. And the richest, it means it's the richest, it's one and only, it's the best, yep. And the same goes for this, for example, bitter, bitter. But the word bitter has two options, yep. You can say it is bitterer, but it is a little bit mouthful, yeah, that's too many things to say, bitterer. Yeah, so you can just simply go on and say more bitter. Yep, and the same goes the most bitter. Yep, since bitterer is a lot of things to say, a lot of things to pronounce, you can just simply say it's more bitter and the most bitter. Yep. But then, what can we say about adjectives that are ending in Y? What can we say about them? Most likely, Y is going to change into I. And we will add er or est. For example, creamy, creamier, the creamiest. Crunchy, crunchier, the crunchiest. Silky, silkier, the silkiest. And about long adjectives, they're already long words. Why do we need to expand long words? We are not going to add anything else to long words. Yep. Why do we need to make long words longer? There is no use in it, right? So we can add more and most. So flavorful, it's just simply, it is flavorful. That's all. Yeah, when you need to compare, to say that this brand of chocolate is more flavorful than the other one. And the same goes for this one. It is the most flavorful. It is the best. Yep. The same goes to expensive. Expensive, more expensive, the most expensive. Yep. And when it comes to irregular words, which means they do not work the same way as other words do, which is unfortunate. But you can just simply learn them. You can memorize them. So good, better, the best. Bad, worse, the worst. Yep. Take a second. Go through it, read it. You can pause it. If you have any questions, once again, send it in the comments. Yep, and here's a little model sentences. Yep, let's go and let's read them. So, dark chocolate is bitter, or as we know, more bitter than milk chocolate, but it's also richer. In my opinion, Swiss chocolate is the creamiest I've ever tried. The texture is silkier than any supermarket brand. This is, without question, the best chocolate I've ever tasted. Yeah? Let's go and let's find all the comparatives and all the superlatives in these sentences. Yep. Let's start with comparatives. So, bitter. Yep. It is more bitterer than milk chocolate, but it's also richer. Yep, it's all about comparison. We compare these two chocolates. Yep. Then the texture is silkier. Silkier, it's also about comparison. We compare that the texture is silkier than any supermarket brand. Yep. Let's go and find superlatives, which usually are the best, the best, the best. Yep. And in here we have the creamiest. The creamiest. Let's underline them. Yep, let's not make them in bold, but underline them so you see the difference. The creamiest, which is like, it is the best in terms of creaminess. Yeah. And the best. The best chocolate I've ever had. Yep. The best. Okay, well, so please look at these model sentences once again. Yep, as you can see, bitterer, richer, silkier. Once again, instead of bitterer, since it is a little bit mouthful, you can just simply say more bitter. It is more bitter than milk chocolate. Yep. Richer, silkier. Yep, it's about when we compare two different items. But the creamiest, the best, it is when we compare three and more, and when we say that one of those three and more is the best. Yeah? Here are some common mistakes. Common mistakes. First of all, more sweeter. We cannot combine more and the suffix er. We cannot combine most and the suffix est. We cannot do that. Absolutely cannot. Actually, the same goes in Ukrainian language also. You cannot really do that. I'm not sure. I suppose so. Correct me in the comments if you know. Creamier. Yeah, the mistake in here is that we often forget to change Y into I. Yep. We need to remember about that. Then, a richly texture. Richly, it is an adverb. We use adverbs with Verbs. Yep. But rich is an adjective, and we use adjectives with nouns. So unfortunately, it is a common mistake to use adverbs with nouns. It is not correct. It is not correct. We will use adverbs with verbs, with actions. Yep. Adverbs mostly, not always, but mostly, they have the end in ly. Quite commonly, they have the end in ly. Yeah. But adjectives, they do not have the end in ly. They do not have this ending. So we cannot use the adverb ly with a noun. With something. With something. Yeah. We cannot use it with it. But we can use adjective with noun. So instead of saying a richly texture, you will say a rich texture. Yeah. And the next one, yeah, this chocolate has good taste. Taste, it is a noun. It is a thing, yeah? Nouns need articles. So we will say, for example, a great taste. And here are two sentences, like possible corrections of this sentence. So this chocolate has a great taste. Here you have who. Oh, exactly what. What? This chocolate. What are they doing? Has. What does it have? A great taste. Yeah, here you have an article a. But you can also change it a bit. You can say this chocolate tastes great. In this case, taste is a verb. It is an action. It is doing something. So in this case, we have what, this chocolate. What is it doing? Tastes. Tastes, how great. Yeah? So here are two options how you can correct this sentence. You can say this chocolate has a great taste, or this chocolate tastes great. So basically, whatever way you prefer, you can use that one. Okay? And here is a little quick check. Take a second, pause the video, form the comparative and superlative of each adjective, and then unpause the video and let's check it. I will give you 20 seconds for you to pause, complete everything, and then unpause. And it's starting now. Take your time, pause the video, complete everything, and once again, if you have any questions, comment it down below. I'll try to get back to you. I'll definitely try to get back to you and respond to you. So you have 4 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. I hope you're done with it. I really hope you're done with it. I hope you paused it. I hope you completed it. And here are our answers. Sweet, sweeter, the sweetest. Yep. Creamy, creamier, the creamiest. Bitter, more bitter or bitterer, the most bitter. Good, as you remember, good is an exception. It is not working the same way as every other word works. Yep. So good, it's better, the best. Yep. And the number 5, expensive. More expensive, the most expensive. Yep. Because we remember, expensive, it is already a long word. Why would we need to make a long word even longer? Yeah. There is no use in it. So, when it comes to speaking challenge, can you please think about top 3 chocolates, or if you don't like chocolate, you can go with top 3 of your favorite foods. Can you describe those using comparatives and superlatives? It would be great if you tried to use at least 6 adjectives from today's vocabulary, okay? You can record yourself, you can write it down, you can talk to your friend, your partner, your colleague, whatever you feel like, your family member, your cat or dog. whatever works for you, yeah? You can talk to someone about it in English, yeah? You can write it down below. You can write it down in your notepad. You can record yourself. Do whatever it feels like doing, yeah? And I have a question for you for the comments. Could you tell me, how would you describe your absolute favorite food using today's adjective? It doesn't have to be chocolate. It can be anything. Whatever you like. I'm not limiting you guys. So how would you describe your absolute favorite food? And can you please use at least one adjective from today's lesson? It would be better if you used more, but it is enough to use at least one, okay? So then the part 2 workbook, as always, you can find it in our Telegram. I'm not going to show it to you right here, but you can find it in our Telegram. And under this workbook, you have all the answers. You have all the correct answers, so then you can check yourself, check your knowledge, yep, and if it's needed, work on it a bit more. Okay, so I was happy to see you today, guys. I hope you will be doing great. I hope you stay safe. Please take care of yourselves. Please stay safe and see you next time. See you in the next video. Bye bye. Bye.